Hello out there. This is Body Rolling. Hello out there. If anybody's watching me, I'm running a little late here, but this is Body Rolling going live from the kitchen. So we're gonna do a little studio setup here and get here. And let's just begin with a classic spider roll. I'm gonna try to do everything today with just one large, one small ball, and a couple of kitchen chairs. So let's start with that right sits bone on there. We're going to place your ball underneath your sits bone. And we're going to circle it around, locate the sits bone on there. We're going to take that extra ball. You're going to pin down directly below your sits bone, and you're going to place that ball in your right hand and then stretch, extend your leg out. I want you to tip to the left on there. You're going to push down with your right hand into the floor as you tip over, tipping your head away to the left on there. Breathe into that. Let everything elongate from the side of your neck down to your pelvis. And then we're going to back up. So you're going to reach your chest forward and bring your pelvis behind you just a little bit. That sits bone is going to be hanging off the ball on there. And we're going to go to a little side to side shift on there. Feel the hamstrings as they pass underneath the ball. And then you're going to decide where you feel the tightest spot. Pin it down. And we're going to go into a little point and flex. Point and flex. Feel those hamstrings. Engage and release as you go through the point and flex on there. And let's back it up one more time. Wiggle, see if you can really lean forward. If you want to, for stability, you can hang onto your lower leg. You can also reach out, bring one of your kitchen chairs next to you and use that for stability on there. Really reach it forward on there. So now that we're completely off of that sits bone, we're going to go around to the outside of the hip. We're going to plant both palms on the side. Now, really extend your body here. I want you to lift those ribs up out of the way and start to reach and tip over. See if you can get a nice pull and stretch going inside of that hip and pelvis. And we're going to roll over so that your foot hits the ground. The pinky toe side of the foot is resting on the ground. We're going to breathe into that. And then you're going to bend your knee and find that little pocket that's up at the side of your thigh on there. There's a little pocket that's going to run from the sits bone about 1/3 of the way down the outside of your leg on there. And now we're going to take that extra black ball and you're just going to tuck it in at the top of your lower leg on here. This little bump where the fibula sticks out on there, resting your foot on the floor, and we're going to bring that down. So now you should be able to twist and come down with some nice pressure. I want you to think about pulling your pelvis back behind you, away from where the knee is pressing down. Try and get a nice rotational stretch on the inside of your thigh. Press down with your arms, really bring those shoulder blades down, try not to hunch on there. Think about elongating your spine. Breathe into that. All right, we're going to pull that black ball out and we're going to continue flipping over. Now, I'm going to change my position so you can continue to see me, but you guys are going to take a roll all the way around until that silver ball ends up underneath the front of your right hip and pelvis. So here, I'm going to flip over. So, now that you're working nice circle around that right front leading edge of your pelvis, once in the other direction. And then you're going to take a moment. The left knee goes to the ground to stabilize you, and you're going to bend the right foot, bringing it back to your butt. I want you to notice as you bring it back, is just your lower leg moving, or are you doing something like that on there? Long in the front, contraction in the back. Feel for something that feels a little tight going down the front of your quadricep. If you can't feel it with just the knee bend, you can reach back, pull on your foot, or even pick your knee up. That for sure is going to give you some sort of nice birdie line down the front. Take that black ball, pin it down. Go up on just a little bit of an angle and start exploring the front of the thigh. Pin down that tight spot again. Point, straighten, and bend the knee. And let's move that black ball up just a little bit on there. A little closer to the middle of the thigh. Another circle. Go back the other direction. Pin it down one more time. And we're going to twist. Rotate. Bring your chest up. Really elongate the side of your rib cage on there. Pull everything you can up out of the rib cage. And then we're going to let that go. Pull your black ball out from underneath. And let's bring it around. Once again, all the way back to that sits bone. All the way back to that sits bone. And let's roll off. Take a little break. Shake that out. See how you're feeling. Check that elevation at your knees. On there, bring that in. All right, we're gonna go to that left sits bone. Climb on top. Start with your circle. Reverse your circle. Come back around. Feel the difference on that side. Pin down that sits bone. And we're going to take that black ball into your hand, and you're going to tip over and stretch on there. Elongate all the way down. You're pushing into the floor, checking that shoulder. Don't want to be shrugging up in the area. Lengthening, breathing on there. Now we're going to straighten that leg. Tip your chest forward. Slide your pelvis backwards, and we're going to back up just enough so that that sits bone is hanging behind the silver ball on there. And then we're going to engage, point, and flex. Feel that, and then left to right. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So left to right, over, back and forth across those hamstrings. Feel like you can climb up on the line and then let yourself down to the side. Try and locate your tightest piece, pin it down with the silver ball, and then point and flex that left leg. Woo, starting to get toe cramps already on there. Breathe in, up and down. Let's pause. Okay, relax. Let your chest come forward a little bit more, sink in, and we're gonna back up just a little bit more. Now you are completely off that sits bone. Breathe into that. And we're gonna start to reach for your twist. So plant both hands on the left side of your body. Reach your torso up and over. The toe is gonna start to roll till it can stabilize you against the floor. Really look for a nice pull on the outside of your leg. Think about lengthening your spine up out of that area and breathe. Come all the way over. until you're on the outside of your thigh. We're gonna grab that extra black ball, bend your knee just a little bit. You should feel that you're in that nice trap. And you're gonna pick your knee up just enough so you can find the top of that fibular head just below your kneecap and twist, turn, rotate, lengthen, and lift on here. You can push down with your knee if you want. Think about pulling your pelvis behind you. As that leg presses into the floor and you separate up and down. Breathe. Last couple of breaths on there. Focus on your hip on there. Let that sink in. All right. And then we're going to take that black ball out. You're going to straighten your leg and continue your rotation until you end up all the way face down with that ball under the left side of your head. So find that front leading edge of your pelvis, resting the ball directly on top. Do a couple of circles. Pin down a spot. Rest your right knee on the floor, and then we're going to bend that left leg on there. Again, you're looking for a tight line. And notice if you start to do one of these, that is not the same thing. You want to only move the lower leg. So you can keep that hip and pelvis very stable. Look for that tight line or reach back, grab and pull to lift up, and then you're definitely going to be able to find something. Reach down, pin the end of your line just above your kneecap. And we're going to hold for just a moment. Breathe in. Start a slow circle. Go both directions. Pin down a piece that you want to work on. Straighten. Bend slowly. See if there's any place where you can feel where there's glitchy bits or it's wobbly. See if you can slow it down. Make another pass on there. Wait for that stuff to lengthen itself out. Now, as you go into that stretch, we're going to pull that ball, roll it up with your hands, just maybe a quarter of a turn, somewhere further up the line, a little bit closer to the center of the thigh. Another circle. Go over those speed bumps. Pin down something that you want to work with. And then we're going to start to rotate. Twist, bring it around to the side of the hip. The IT band. Breathe. All right. We're going to come back around to the front. Pull that black ball out. And climb back up to your sits bone. And we're going to roll off on that side. Okay, check that out. On there. Okay, so we're going to slide this back to the wall. I'm going to try very hard not to hit my head on that forearm. And see how this works. We're going to do some chest and neck work next. Let's change our camera angle just a little bit. Get a bit better of a shot. Okay, so transfer over to an area where you have a nice bit of wall to work with behind you. And here, and you're going to climb so that you can rest your back against the wall. Slide your hips all the way back to the wall on there. And we're going to take that silver ball and we're going to pull it underneath. We're gonna start with the left side here, just because this is an easy shot for me. Pull it in underneath your thigh, and everything else is resting up against the wall on there. You've got a nice sink and grab into those hamstrings. Start with a little tip away from the ball with your head on there. Look for a tight line that is running down from your neck. We're going to take that black ball and we're going to grab on just below the collarbone on here. Start to slowly turn your head away. Lift your chin. Tilt your chin down. Curl down over your chest. See if you can lengthen the muscles coming up the back of the neck. And then curl back up on here. Now we're going to take this out for a little leg stretch on here. Extend your leg, take your black ball, and you're going to support underneath your calf on here. So you can pull it up just a little higher, and you can actually extend your leg. And let's do a little circle. Circle around. Couple different times, and stop your foot in one place where you get a very nice stretch. See if you can extend it just a little bit. See if you can pull up just somewhat away from the kneecap as you press in. Last couple of deep breaths. And we're going to slowly let that leg down on here. Let's bring that silver ball out. Tighten up your hips against the wall on there. And we're going to reach out and place it just below your kneecap, down at the top of your lower leg, so that the leg is nice and extended, and you can press back into the wall. So as you press down with both hands into the floor, you're going to climb the wall with your spine, sink your leg down, really surrender this leg. See if you can get a little extension, like you're about to lift your butt up off the floor as you press down. Now slide your heel away and pull it back in. Slide it away. Notice how it's rolling on the ball, and I cannot do a straight line. Then we're going to pull it back. Out and pull it back on there. Tip forward. We're going to reach down, grab your toes for a nice stretch. You can stabilize your leg over the ball and breathe and lengthen. So as you're grabbing those toes, see if you can notice maybe a little stretch going down the back of your triceps. And breathe. Look to extend those ribs on there. And then I want you to start listening to the base of your shoulder blade, where the shoulder blade connects into your body here. Maybe twist or pull or rotate just a little bit, and look for a little spot that starts talking to you in that area on there. Let's give that a little release. Take the silver ball out and shake it out for just a moment. On there. So we're going to place that black ball behind you, right at the bottom corner of your shoulder blade on there. So you're going to pin down that bottom corner of the shoulder blade on there. You should be able to kind of just as you tip over or shrug your shoulder, that ball will rise, the shoulder blade will lift up where the black ball is on here. So we're going to focus on the upper quarter of our chest on here. We're going to take that silver ball. You've got your lats pinned at the back on there, and we're going to bring the ball to the center of your chest, right where your sternum and your collarbone meet each other. And we're going to bring that silver ball, pull down slowly, climb backwards with your head, and let's release all the way down the sternum. Take 2 or 3 breaths to do this. And then we're going to come back up to the top and reset. Grip, pull in, pull down, and comb down the front Lifting your chin, encouraging your ribs to go flat. Turn your face away to the right just a little bit, and then come back on there. Now we're going to go about halfway out the collarbone on there. So we're making 3 stops on there as we come down. Go to the middle. Let's do just a little bit of rotation. Comb and come down. So we're now really going to come about halfway down the chest because we don't ever roll through the nipple line. So pull in, pull down, comb down. Find a nice stuck spot. Take a break. And slowly lift your chin. Feel the front of your neck stretch. Breathe in. Curl. And we're going to bring that ball right back up to the top so that you can rest your chin on top. Open the side here, rest your chin. So as you squeeze down with the chin, you're going to open up the back of your neck. Curl that up on here. So the last one, so got that ball pinned at the base of the shoulder blade. We're going to take the ball out to the front of your shoulder joint. Your left hand is going to go on your thigh, and you're going to turn away from the silver ball. Draw your shoulder blade and your hand behind you so that your rib cage is rotating up and out of your hip. See if you can sit up a little taller. Lengthen, feel those back muscles engage. Last couple of deep breaths. And release. Do a little circle against the wall to fluff up that rib muscle on there, and let's shake that out for a moment. Rest your hands on the floor. Rest your shoulder blades on there. See if they feel like they're a little bit different lengths from each other. And over to the left-hand side on there. So once again, you're tucked up tight against the wall on there, and we're going to put that ball, we're going to go over to the right-hand side, pull it in tight under your thigh. So as soon as you kick your foot out, it's going to be kind of floating on there. Start by sitting up very, very tall. Tip and stretch your head away from that right leg and the silver ball, extending from your shoulder down to the floor. On there, lengthen and breathe. Do a little experimental movement with your head, tip and turn. On there. And then we're going to bring that black ball up. On there, we're going to extend your leg and reach up under, grab onto somewhere just below your knee so that you can lift your leg in a challenge. I'm putting a little squeeze with both my thumbs around my calf muscles. So I'm lifting the leg just a little bit higher as I extend forward to breathe. On there, and then go into your ankle circles. Think about searching as you move your foot. You're listening for a part that kind of flares up down your leg. Pause for a moment there. Examine that little bit of the circle on there. Hold it so there's just a little bit of discomfort, just a little bit of soreness, and wait for it to fade on there. Start noticing that line of stuck, thicker feeling tension that goes along with that intense feeling on there, and you're waiting for the sensation to fade and go lower on there. In turn, you're going to feel that texture in your leg change. You haven't reversed that circle, do it a couple more times. Let's deepen that challenge. Tip more forwards, pull your leg out away from the wall, traction it with your own hands. Last couple of deep breaths, and we're going to slowly let that down. And pull that silver ball out from underneath your thigh. Shake it out. We're going to pop it down just below the kneecap, basically where you just had that black ball on there. And tighten up your line to the wall. We're gonna reach out. Totally forgot what I did here. On there. Press down through your hands, get taller. You're trying to almost lift your butt up off the floor. And then you're gonna slide the leg away from the wall and pull it back into the socket. Your spine stays with the wall, extend it out, pull it back into the wall. Notice you're not swinging both sides of your pelvis out. You're trying to isolate one leg, pull it back in, extend it out, pull it back in. Really feel that tight stuff as you bring it back, as you get it taut. Hang out there. Give it a moment to release, to relax. If you notice it in some toes, work those toes. Just a little bit of curl and flex, and you're going to get some nice release on there. All right, you're going to let yourself down. And we're going to let that release for just a moment. We're going to, put that back on there. One more. We're going to tip forward on there. Start listening for a tight spot on the back of your, just below your shoulder blade on there. And then we're going to take this break, take the ball out, pin your black ball underneath the bottom corner of your shoulder blade. Take just a moment to find that there. Maybe for you, like me, you gotta find somewhere that has an absolutely flat surface on there so don't catch that ball on there. All right, so we're gonna find the center of your sternum on there where the collarbone meets it. Pull the ball in, drag it down, home, and lift. Elongate up out of your hips and your pelvis, and then we're going to release. And then come back up to the top, pull in, pull down, cone down, release, extend upwards, check those shoulder blades, make sure they're not lifting up. Climb up as tall as you can, come all the way down to the sternum. And we're going to release on there. Do a little circle. The next one is going to be the halfway point on there. We're going to bring that ball up, pull in, pull down, and find a nice place to stop just above that nipple line. And we're going to start with some slow stretch and reach with the neck on there. When you find a good line, you can stick your jaw out, reach and work and elongate, feel where it comes underneath the ball, weaving amongst those ribs, and breathe. And breathe. Last one. And we're going to release with that. So we're going to take that right hand to the ground, pin the ball to the right shoulder blade, and then you're going to place your hand on the outside of your thigh on here. So turn your face to the left on here. We're going to slide the shoulder blade, slide the hand back to the wall and the door. You don't have to make it all the way to the wall. You want to be pulling them behind you so that you don't rotate and take them across to the left. You want to turn your rib cage out from below your shoulders. That right shoulder blade is staying with the wall. You're rotating the ribs out from underneath. Pull your head up on there. Lengthen. Last couple of deep breaths. You can get a little taller, arch backwards over that black ball. Listen to any muscles engaging on both sides of the spine. And release. Let's take a moment there and move that black ball to the center of your spine, right behind your the base of your sternum on here. And we're going to go for the front of the collarbones. Pull the silver ball in, reach your chin out over the top, and grip down. Tuck both elbows down, pull the shoulder blades down. Breathe and extend. See if you can soften and surrender the muscles along both sides of the back as you pull those shoulder blades down. And then you're going to lift your chin up slowly, release the ball in the front tip forward, and pull that back. All right, let's climb out of that one with a quick spinal roll transition. Stick that under, make sure it doesn't roll away. So slide away just far enough away from the wall so that you can pull the ball into the end of your spine. Change my angle here. Pull the ball into the base of your spine. Hold it there with your fingertips. Lean back against it until you can get it trapped. Press in. Walk it back just a little bit. Find that sacrum. Do a circle here. On there. We're going to do a 2-ball roll up the spine on there. So go all the way back till you can get to the very bottom of your sacrum. We haven't reached that vertical point where we're going to press down into the coccyx. And then you're going to sink down, slide forward. So this might need to be a place where you need to de-wedgify on there, pull those, anything that's going to climb up. And we're going to grab that extra black ball here. So we're at the top of the pelvic crest. Shift your hips from side to side here. One side to the other. Come back to the center. And we're going to pick your hips up and place that ball right underneath your sacrum on here. So you should feel like they're quite close together. You can rest. It's not going to be the full weight on either one of the balls. On there, sink back. Rest your rib cage on there and walk it up. So that black ball is at the top of the sacroiliac joint and you're at your fixed ribs. Interlace your hands behind your head. Breathe into that. We're going to take a moment here and open up. So the black ball is going to end up just above your sacrum on there, right at the top of your pelvic crest. You should be able to set your sits bones down on the ground. Walk your knees out to each side. Put the soles of your feet together. And we're going to press back. So the key here is pressing back with your head into those interlaced fingers. Opening the center of the chest. Hook the base of your skull with your thumbs so that you can pull your head slightly up and out of your body. Press back, open, breathe. Elongate the spine. Surrender the knees. Last couple. You're going to bring both the knees up. Walk the feet out a little bit wider. Deep breath in. Exhale, press down. Pick your sits bones up and roll up into the bottom corner of the shoulder blade on here. So we're going to reach down for just a moment. Take that black ball back down to your sacrum on there. So you should be at the bottom corner of the shoulder blades. You should be able to go back and forth and kind of hit that bottom corner. Let's go to the left corner of your shoulder blade. Pin, turn that. We're going to reach your left hand out over your head. Plant that palm on the floor. Straighten your left leg and start to pivot. Come all the way around. Roll the entire outside edge of your hip and pelvis with that black ball. See if you can come all the way around, hit the front corner of your pelvic crest on there, all the way down. And then start your turn, coming back. So at this time, as you come back, I want you to open up, bring your other arm all the way up. You can support your head here if you want to for just a moment. Reach that right hand behind you. Create a nice twist extension. And then we're going to bring that arm back down. Walk your foot over. Pause for just a minute at that 45-degree angle and really release your piriformis muscle here. Do a little circle. You can put your arm wherever you want to stabilize on it. You can reach out and grab that kitchen table leg on there for stability, whatever you want on there. Circle. Get deep into where that the sciatic nerve can get entrapped on there, and let's shift it back to the center. So Find the center of your sacrum with the black ball, bottom corner of your shoulder blades, and then we're gonna go to the other side. Feel what you've accomplished. Take a deep breath in there. Feel those ribs expand on there, and then we're gonna go over to the other side. So you're gonna shift, start to turn, find that bottom corner, and you're gonna reach your up over your head and start to rotate. That black ball will go around the outside of the hip. Bring your left foot over the top. Nice straight line. And see if you can take it all the way around to hit that front edge of the pelvis. Sink in for the breaths. And then a slow, heavy drag rotation coming back. Start to bring your left hand behind your head, open up your chest, support your head, create a nice unwinding twist that the rib cage comes all the way up towards the ceiling. Reach, open it up through your hips on there. And then you're going to walk your foot, left arm in, and then again, stop at 45 degrees. Find the edge of your sacrum. Sink in, do some circles, pin that down. Really let that black ball sink in to that joint structure. And then very slowly bring it across, back to the front on here. Now, we're gonna pull that black ball out for a second. Find that, so we're right in between the shoulder blades with the silver ball. On there, reset if you need to. You should be, fold your elbows up so you can kind of bumper in between each shoulder blade on there. Let's go to the left one. We're gonna sink in so that you feel like you're scraping your left shoulder blade away from the center of your spine. We're going to reach down and we're going to pin that black ball just beyond the silver ball so that as you start to rotate, I'm sorry, I'm going to do that. Start, wrong place with black ball. Start to rotate, come around to the outside edge of your shoulder blade, and we're going to slip that black ball on your IT band. See if you can actually climb up on top, and then we're going to walk that left leg around. So you're resting now, black ball is on your IT band, and you're going to climb up. See if you can extend out, straighten your leg, reach that leg behind you, turn it all the way over. That black ball is going to come around the outside of your thigh to the front. Reach and extend, and see if you can get that silver ball to come to the inside of your shoulder blade. So you're going to start to almost go flat down to the floor with your chest. Let that release for just a moment, and then we're going to climb your way back. Let's pull that black ball out, come back around to the center. You're going to bumper in between your shoulder blades one more time. And then move everything over. Silver ball goes to the right side until you're pushing that right shoulder blade away. Pushing into that right shoulder blade on there. Start just a little bit of a turn, and then we're going to bring that black ball around. So as you rotate around, you're going to bring it out to the side and see if you can climb up on there. Bring the top foot over and extend your right leg. You can rest your hip on the ground, or you can try and pick it up for this one. Reaching and extending, pointing that leg behind you, and then take it all the way over until you drop face down. And you're going to start to pull that shoulder blade up out of your rib cage. and breathe. You can let yourself kind of sink down into the floor at this point. Try not to use any muscles to hold that shoulder. Let gravity do the work for you. And then we're going to start to slowly rotate back on there. Let's pull that black ball out. Come back around to the center. Let's do another roll vertical. And you're going to stop that ball right up at the top corner of your shoulder blades. Bring the black ball underneath your sacrum one more time. Squeeze those shoulder blades together at the top. Try and open up the lower abdominal muscles, reaching your coccyx past that black ball. Deep breaths, open up the front of the body. All right, your elbows up, and we're gonna roll that ball. Take the black ball out, roll the silver one up into the back of your neck. We're gonna pause here for just a moment, pull that ball out, get rid of the wadded up shirt material on there, right behind your neck for just a moment. And let's pause. Let's take that black ball and stick it in between your knees. Squeeze your knees together and see if you can do a snow angel move. All the way up and then all the way back down, reaching out in both directions. Relax everything to the floor. Let's try that again. Squeeze your knees in and sweep out. Elongate. Open the rib cage and then come back down. And release on there. We're going to do that 3-part shoulder release. Shoulder blades go back. Reach the arms down. And then oops, then we're going to take that black ball out. Looks like it worked. Shoulder blades back, reach the arms down, and then pick your hip up. Walk it out one side, walk it out on the other side, and that silver ball will move up just a little bit. And let's reach up over your head with 2 hands. Pull down, tuck your chin, push with your feet just a little bit to imprint the vertebrae of your neck into the ball, and then release on there. Walk your feet in very tight on here and prepare your fingers next to your head to pick up your head. You're going to push off slowly. Interlace your fingers behind your head, straighten slowly. Going to the feet. And see if you can relax in upward plank position. Hold that for just a moment. Float. Breathe to the center of the rib cage. Set your pelvis down. Let that naturally tilt you up. Bring your arms forward and curl up for your best sit-up possible on there. Okay, so let's transition to a little bit of chair work on your inner thighs and the upper rib cage on here. So I'm going to go grab one of these kitchen chairs and move it a little bit more into the shot. So, we're gonna, you're gonna end up straddling your chair. I think I'd like you guys to work with your chair reversed on there. Let's put the ball in the center and we're gonna straddle with your right leg on there. So we're going to start off with that ball very close to your knee on there. So you can easily hang on to the back of the chair. The left leg is just doing support and your whole body should be able to kind of float on here. Let's start with a couple of ankle circles. I want you to notice if it kind of twinges somewhere up on your inner thigh. Notice the connection between your big toe and this whole difficult line running up that inner thigh. So you're going to stop your foot on a place where it gives you a really fantastic stretch, going up there. And then you're going to try and follow that line with the silver ball. I want you to slide out through your leg. Imagine that you're sliding your foot into a boot. On there, the silver ball is going to roll up a little closer to your pelvis. And we're going to go back and do some more circles. The purpose of that circle is to pull on all of those nice strings going all the way up to the pelvis on there. All right, let's roll a little bit more. Find another line. Now, right here, since the muscles start getting wider and thicker, you can also change the angle of your pressure as long as the kneecap is staying to the inside on there. As soon as you start getting vertical with that kneecap, you're going to the hamstrings in the back. We want to stay to those adductor muscles. Find a nice spot on there. Now we're going to start to bring that foot down to the floor. Now, if at any point you feel like you're about to roll, if you don't have any more edge to work with, you can reset your ball on there. So if you watch that edge, and we're going to climb all the way up to the underside of the pelvis on here. I want you to see if you can do a little stimulation where you run from the thigh up to the underside where the pelvis and the leg meet each other, come back onto the thigh. Take it a little closer to that sits bone and run it up on there. So you're making maybe 4 passes at different angles. You can go as far forward as the pubic bone in the front. Come back out into the big muscular area of the thigh and roll up to the underside of the pelvic structure. When you find a good spot there, I want you to press down into the floor with your leg while you lift and pull the pelvis in the other direction on there. Breathe and let it release on there. Let's make one more pass, climb it out. Let's go all the way back to the sits bone. And once more, press down into the floor with your foot as you lift up with the rest of your torso. It's going the opposite direction. Feel like you're about to stand up on there. You're about to lift your body off of that pelvis and sits bone. All right. Roll it off. And then let's take a little lap around the chair. Walk it out. See how that feels. And let's go to the other leg here. So left leg, find just above the inside of your knee on here. I kind of like to start this in the middle of the bench with the ball on there. So then I've got a lot of edge. Swing my leg out, and as you sink down, you're going to kind of catch that line there. Pin down something and start those ankle circles. I almost cannot go that direction. It gets really burny and crampy. So find that line, find that thing that's talking to you, and let's give it some time. Let's hold, breathe, sink in, allow it to release on there. Listen for the next part of the line that runs up the pelvis, and then you're going to try and follow it, shifting your body closer, following that line up closer to the top of the pelvic crest on here. Stop and do some circles on here. If this feels really burny on here, spend a lot of time on here. Just being able to hang out and let that release on there. You're going to be amazed at what it does for the rib cage on there, your hips, everything. Okay, we're going to roll up a little higher. See, I'm going off the edge. So I'm going to reset that ball, give myself a little bit more edge to work with. and start. So now we're in the big, wide upper part of the thigh. Let's go for a forward pass. We're going to ride the line up to the pubic bone. Pause there, sink down, create separation on there, like you're trying to cut your leg free from the rest of your body. Get your foot to the floor. And you're gonna, as you push the floor away with your leg, you're gonna pull your pelvis to the other side. Separate. Breathe into that. And release. Climb back out onto the thigh. Let's roll it up to the center. Follow it up to the middle of the underside of your pelvis or the front leading edge of your sits bone. Push the world away with your leg. Draw the pelvis in the opposite direction. Use that chair back. Expand and lift. Set yourself back down. Come back out onto the thigh. And the last one, run it up. Go for the back of the sits bone. See if you can cut into the edge. Press the world away. Shift. Practice the beginning of standing up so that you can feel these deep muscles engage. As you begin to raise yourself up, does something complain? Would you have to immediately kind of drop back down or shift the weight? You can learn a lot about yourself on there. Let's come back down and take a little break. And one more time. Take a lap around the chair. Oh, just all your clothing. And that's it. Okay. Let's go for another stretch, kind of like we did on the wall today. On there, we're gonna pick your right thigh up on there, tip forward and see if you can bring that black ball somewhere onto the back of your ribs on there. It feels like it lines up. Now, what we're gonna do here is you're gonna push down with your hands on there. That's going to lever the femur out of your hip socket on there, and then you're gonna pull your pelvis behind you. So lengthen and traction with your leg. You can do a complete circle with the pelvis. And then we're gonna rotate in the direction of the silver ball. So pushing down and pushing from the outside, lengthen and twist, tip your head away from the black ball. And breathe. Keep checking that shoulder blade. Make sure you're not shrugging your shoulder blade up towards your ear, that you're sinking down, pulling the elbow down, pulling the arm down, and spiral. Okay, we're gonna release, and you're gonna grab your chair back with your arm. Left hand is going over that right knee, and you're going to spiral. Black ball is pressing into the ribs on the side. Lengthen and breathe. And release on there. Let's pull that black ball out and pull your silver ball out for just a second. Shake everything out, see how that feels on there. Okay, left leg under the thigh, nice and pinned, tip forward, find a spot for the black ball, and then we're gonna push down with your hands on there. So we're locking the femur in place on here, and then you're gonna pull your pelvis behind you. Do something that you can't do when you're standing up bearing weight on the leg on there. You wanna draw the hip apart in two different directions. You can circle your pelvis. Notice how I pretty much can't move this hip without my foot doing a whole bunch of stuff on there. My pelvis is much more stuck on this side. I can feel this spot. It just kind of feels like they're welded together almost on there. But I'm gonna stop when I get that on the heart of the welded in spot, and I am going to stay there with the pressure and wait for it to release. Press, breathe. Now we're going to start a little twist rotation. You're going to turn in the direction of that silver ball, pushing down with one hand, pushing into the thigh with the other to help speed up and elongate the rotation through the ribs. Climbing the chair back with the ribs. Surrendering into your leg on there. Again, shoulder shrug, pull it down on there. Now, we're going to deepen this. You're going to bring your arm to the back of the chair and expand your twist and your rotation. Tip your head away from the black ball. And breathe. Elongate. And just let gravity do the work when you get to this point. You put the force into the system, gravity is going to continue to work with you. And just surrender. Let your body reorganize from the inside. And we're going to release on there. Let's take both balls out. Okay, we're going to do a little sideways work here. Pin, you're going to turn sideways on the chair so that you can lift up your arm and you can pin right at the bottom edge of your shoulder blade here. So I want you to be able to rest your elbow on the chair back, catch the front leaning edge of the rib cage. You're kind of tucked into the armpit with the ball, and you're going to tip your head away from the silver ball on here. So as you tip your head away, the weight of your head is going to start to create a pull down somewhere in the chest. You're going to pick up the black ball, grab onto that piece of musculature, pin it, put a little backspin on the ball, and hold it down. So begin to explore moving your head away. Now, as soon as you get some flare up, something talking to you in your shoulder, I want you to squeeze down onto the chair back with your elbow on there. So as you squeeze down with the elbow, you are climbing up and out with your rib cage. And play around with the sensation that shows up as you squeeze down and then turn it off, release, climb a little further away with your head, find another tight spot, squeeze down, tip, reach, and extend, and then start to turn the ribs away from the elbow. And then we're going to come back around, start to rotate the ribs towards your elbow. The chair arm, everything stays locked on the chair arm. But twist those ribs. And breathe. And elongate. And come all the way back to the center where you began. We're going to take that ball and drop it down to the outside of your hip and pelvis on there. So as you tip away on the chair, I want you to be able to push down just a little bit on the outside of your hip and reach the rest of your body away. Hold it on there. Maybe experiment with the angle of your torso going away from your hip. And breathe. The key here is pushing down on that ball as you climb up and out. All right, we're going to take that out. Take a couple of breaths there. Stand up and reverse your chair. And we're going to begin up at the top. Find the armpit, the back of your shoulder blade so that you can pin that over the chair and then rest your arm on top of the chair. Squeeze down and tip your head going away from there. Just a little bit. Squeeze with the arm, tip away, and then look for that line of pull coming down the back of your neck. Place the ball, put a little backspin on it, hold it down. So as you climb up and out, now you're going to squeeze down with the elbow. Squeeze and reach and turn. After a couple breaths, relax your elbow, sink in a little deeper, and then repeat at a slightly different angle. As you squeeze with that elbow and engage the arm and shoulder on there, you're going to be turning off muscles on the side of your rib cage. You might feel like you get kind of a dull ache into the armpit or wrapping around the side of the rib cage. That is your serratus anterior muscle, and you are trying to detach the relationship of the shoulder blade structure itself with its attachment to all of the 10 ribs that serratus anterior muscle goes to. Breathe into that. So we're going to start turning away from the silver ball, climbing and elongating, and then slowly come back around until you turn towards the silver ball. Gently drag your rib cage out from behind on there. So squeezing down with the elbow, but trying to slide your rib cage out from below that. And sink down and come back to the beginning at the front. Reach up, we're going to take that ball and slide it down just to the inside of your hip so you can catch the bottom corner of your pelvis. Push down, that's going to hold that greater trochanter down. It's going to sink into those kind of hard to get to hip flexor muscles at the top, and you're going to tip away and lengthen. Now this side is significantly worse for me. I get quite the ache that goes down into my thigh. At that point, when I feel that ache, I'm going to take some fingers and I'm going to go walk that area, and I'm going to discover the speed bump of matted muscle tissue that is talking to me over there. And as I dig into that speed bump, for me, it goes from being a dull ache to something that's got a little bit more of like a sharp burn to it, overlaying the dull ache. That dull ache is still there. If I take my hands away, that doesn't change on there. So I'm feeling two separate issues occurring. Now I found a scar, and I can really start to work with that scar material and give it some time to release. And if you hang out with that burn long enough, the ache itself is going to start to change. Work on maybe moving your pelvis to get free of, again, the inside of that hip socket. I'm starting to notice some zappy things going down into my foot and my toes on that work. So it's really good work. All right, let's take a break with that and pull it out and take a walk. Let's set that chair to the end of your mat so that you can use it as a little bit of a prop and a support for yourself. We're going to do a little bit of a rib roll here. So curl up on the floor, find the bottom of your fixed ribs with your pinky, and you're going to add 3 more fingers after that so that you know that you're well into the fixed ribs. And then you're going to bring those fixed ribs down to the silver ball. Let's start with just a little roll front to back on there. And you're going to pick one spot on that roll. We're just doing from where the ribs meet in the front all the way out to about 90 degrees. Find something and then look for a little bit of ache or inflammation down the outside of your IT band. One more time, we're going to pick that up and then see if you can pop yourself up so that you can actually pick your pelvis up off the floor. Breathe into that. So press down with your hand into the floor, and you're gonna reach out and stabilize with your top hand. And then what you're gonna do is pull your hips away from the silver ball. Try and reach your pelvis away from your armpit. Do the opposite of what gravity does to you. Gravity compacts you into the center. You're sitting, you're standing, you're landing with force. I want you to press down with both arms and reach the pelvis out from those armpits. Breathe to the odd strain and pull that you get, kind of that center line across the rib cage. All right, bring your hips down to the ground. We're going to take that black ball and you're going to put it right underneath the side of your pelvis. So now you can get that right knee down to the floor. Stretch your arm out 90 degrees in front. Reach your left hand behind and rotate. Go as high as you can. Open up the rib cage. And then we're going to bring your head back, arch the neck towards the floor. Press back with your head into your hand to help open up the musculature around the neck. And then we're going to come back. Bring that around. Bring your hand up to the chair. And then we're going to move the whole body towards the black ball. Sink down. And I want you to do kind of like almost like a one-handed pull-up on here. Once you got that extension, pull and then release on there. Pull. Don't knock the chair over on yourself and release. Pull straight down, separating out the side of the musculature and release. Move once more, extend, rest on the outside edge of your shoulder blade. Black ball is at the top of your pelvis on there. And then roll your way back to the beginning on here. Let's pull that black ball out. Sit up for just a moment. And feel that extension in your rib cage on there. Feel the difference on the two sides of your hips as they rest on the floor. Okay, I'm moving those chairs to give you a better view. Take it around to the other end. So we're going to curl up. You're going to find the bottom of your fixed ribs with your pinky and add 3 more fingers so you know that you're well into those solid ribs on here. Bring your rib cage down to the ball. Start with just a little roll from side to side to find the front leading edge. And then look for a spot that feels particularly kind of twangy and talking to you on there. Pin it down. Notice if you feel something along the edge of your thigh, we're going to pick that thigh up, pin the spot that you feel, and then see if you can get that hip up off the floor. Breathe into that. And breathe. And then we're going to reach up and you're going to brace. So as you push down into the floor with your hand, you're going to pull the rib cage away from that. So there's nothing on the pelvis right here. So you should be able to get a nice sense of pulling that pelvis down away from your shoulder blade and where it's pushing into the floor. Release, let it relax on there, and then do it again. Reach. You can put a little twist in there. You can change the angle. Breathe and extend. You can pull all of those organs out, redistribute them around the inside of your body. And breathe. All right, and then we're gonna come down from that, take that black ball out for just a moment, and then you're gonna pick your hip up and put it on the outside of your pelvis, right at the top of that greater trochanter, and then stretch your arm out 90 degrees, reach behind your head and pivot and twist. Open up that chest to the ceiling. Breathe, extend. See if you can bring your head a little bit closer to the floor, arching the ribs over that silver ball, extending, separating all the way down. And then we're going to come back around to the center. You're going to roll up just a little bit more so you find that edge of your shoulder blade. And we're going to grab the chair so you can do a partial pull-up. Hold, and then release, sink down. See if you can get a little bit longer through that hip and pelvis. Partial pull-up. Really engage that bicep, tricep, everything on there. And release, sink it down. Change your angle just a little bit. And do a pull-up. Feel those muscles engage, and then feel them release, sink down. See if you can go in a little deeper, a little more extension on there. Breathe. And separate. All right. And then we're going to release. Roll it back. Sit up for a second there. And see how that feels. Top to bottom. And there. Okay. So let's finish. We're going to do a little bit of a chest roll out here. Sorry, get this shot on here. So we're going to go face down on the floor. You're going to bring that ball to the center where your collarbones and your sternum meet on there. So if it's in your throat, it feels like it's choking you, that's too high. Go down into the top of your rib cage on there. Extend your right hand outwards with the ball. We're going to start by sinking your chest down, turning your face to the left, leaning to the left a little bit, and then pushing the ball away to the right. Separate and breathe. Each time you exhale, you should be able to sink in just a little bit more. Now we're going to change it. Pull the world towards you with that right hand. Traction, and we're going to roll the elbow, the arm from side to side. This is about 3 or 4 times, and then release on there. So you're going to move your body to the left. That ball is going to move out just a little bit, and then we're going to start back where we were. Turn your face to the left. Push the ball away with your hand. Breathe and extend. Change it up. Grip the world with your right hand. Twist away. And release it down. One more time. We're going to move over. Find the front of the shoulder joint. This time we're going to hyperextend. You're going to push the world away, twist and lift and breathe and open up. Go in a couple of directions here and come back down. Now we're going to take that arm up over your head. Pull the world towards you. Sink down into your armpit. You can rest your head on top of your shoulder here. After 3 breaths, you're going to take that arm out across your body so that now you're hitting the back edge of the shoulder blade. And we're going to do a complete rotation here. Once you're anchored to the floor, rotate. Take everything over the top. Go as far as you can. And then come back all the way around to the front. And we're going to center it again. Bring it back. Front of the chest. Left side. Rest your chest. Stabilize with your right hand. Turn your face to the left. Push the black ball away with the palm of your hand. Try to send your arm and shoulder away as you turn the face and breathe. After a couple of breaths, you're going to change. Pull the world towards you with that left hand as you in to the muscles. All right, and release. Slide your body over to the right. Let that ball roll out to the middle of the collarbone. Pin it down, turn your face away, Push the black ball away with the base of your palm and breathe. Pull the world towards you. Change up that release for just a moment. All right, last move. You're going to take that out to the front of your shoulder joint on there. So we're going to hyperextend through that twist. Go as far as you can. And come down. Bring that left arm up over the top. You're going to go into those pectoral muscles. Pull the world towards you. You can rest your head on top of your shoulder here. And sink and elongate. A little more change. Go deeper into that armpit. And last one, you're going to grab. Now you're going for the back of the shoulder blade. And we're going to rotate as far as you can here. All the way over. So you can get that release deep down into the side of your rib cage. And then come back to the front. Let's climb out of that. Okay, one last lengthener for the hips and the front. We're going to flip over here. We're going to put the silver ball at your front leading edge of your pelvis. Circle around so you can find that front leading edge. And we're going to reach out, grab the world with your right hands, twist out into your hip, come back on there. Drag yourself forward about 3 or 4 inches. You're at the crease of your hip. One more time. Grab the world. Point your toe. Extend and lengthen. Twist the pelvis underneath you just a little bit. And come back on here. One more time. Out to the front of the quad on here. Bring your heel towards your butt. Reach back with your hand. 1, pull on there. I'm getting a horrible hamstring cramp right here. Woo! Lengthen in both directions on here. If you want a little more rib support, you can bring that black ball underneath your ribs on there and take some of the pressure out of your arms. All right, let's release that. Roll it back up to your pelvis on there and roll off that ball. Take a moment, feel what you've accomplished on there. And then you're going to take it over to the left side of your pelvis. So you're going to find the left side, front leading edge of your hip and your pelvis. Circle around to locate your bony landmark. And reach out with your left hand, grab the world, extend, point, twist your pelvis underneath you to lengthen. And come back to the front. Bring your elbow in, pull yourself forward till you can find the crease between where the femur and the hip. Grab the world, point and extend your leg. Breathe and start to twist. Pull that pelvis away from your shoulder. We're going for latissimus here. Come back to the front. Crawl forward about 4 more inches until you can find the front of that thigh. And there again, notice, is your butt going up? Can you keep it flat? Push forward to the floor, reach back. Give a grab to the top of your foot. One last pull and elongation. Funny, no cramping on this side of my quad or my hamstrings on here. something's different on there. And release, roll it back up to the top, roll off the ball for just a moment, pull it all out. And let's just breathe with that ball underneath your sternum. So we're gonna pin the sternum here. Now if you guys wanna get intense with this, you can take that black ball and you can put it underneath the pubic bone right at the front, right here. So now you can spread your elbows and your knees, and we're just gonna release. Back up just a little bit. That black ball is gonna go for the top edge of the pubic bone. You do not have to do this with that black ball on there. You can make it easy on yourself. Just do the sternum. All right, we're gonna reach down, move that black ball down just a little bit, make your final move to the top of your sternum and breathe into that. Separate, see if you can pull the upper rib cage forward into the ball as you release down into both sides of the pubic bone and pelvis. All right, we're gonna take that silver ball out, take the black ball out from underneath your pelvis. It was there. And let's finish up with one last spinal roll. Put the ball under your left sits bone. Do a circle, a couple different directions on the sits bone. And then we're going to roll for it up the back of the pelvis, across, and to the right sits bone. Circle your right sits bone. Go squeaky as you leave your mat. And then roll back up and to the center of the pelvis on here. Let's sink down and breathe into that. Ease yourself down with a little pressure as you exhale. Push with your body. Find the floor with those sits bones. On there, reach forward, grab both of your knees for just a moment, and you're going to draw your shoulder blades down, lift your sternum, rear back, hang on to those kneecaps. Last deep breath. And then you're going to round your spine, drop your hands over the kneecap, pick the pelvis up, roll the ball up just above your pelvis on here. So you're at the bottom of your fixed ribs, and you should be able to easily push into those floating ribs on here. Shift your body to the right on there so that you can feel that the floating ribs. We're going to turn in that direction for just a second. Drop your right elbow to the floor. And elongate your spine over the floating ribs. Lift and rotate. Think about separating them. Push away with the heel of your hand into that right kneecap. Extend yourself up and over with your upper body. Release and come down. Center yourself at the spine. Feel that very uneven space at the back where the floating ribs are on there. And you're going to shift your body to the right, ball goes to the left. You can now feel those floating ribs. You're going to drop your left elbow to the floor, reach across with your right hand, and then extend. Your sits bone is on the floor, so your pelvis isn't going anywhere. Your leg is locked in place. But you can decompact your rib cage, extend, spread it out, reach it over the top of the ball. Brace against your knee so that you can get interesting extra traction at your torso and all that abdominal musculature. Let it unwind. Feel those tight areas. And then we're going to release. Twist it back, shift it to the center. Interlace your fingers behind your head, deep breath in. Exhale, press back, pick your pelvis up and roll up into the fixed ribs and set your hips down one last time. We're going to do just a little side to side shift across those lower fixed ribs on there. Make sure you feel everything is pretty evened out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, press back, pick your pelvis up and roll up to the bottom corner of your shoulder blade on there.
So you can go grab your extra black ball here. We're going to interlace that behind our heads with you're going to interlace your fingers around the black ball, press it into the back of your head, squeeze your shoulder blades together. The key here is pressing back with your head and turning off the neck muscles. Feel things clear down in the center of your chest. This is the very opposite of curling forward into yourself with bad posture over a keyboard. And release. Fold your elbows up around both ears. Pick your pelvis up and roll that ball up in between your two shoulder blades. Now we're going to bring that black ball underneath your sacrum for just a moment. Replace your hands behind your head. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press back with your head. Try and reach the sacrum away over the end of the ball. And relax the shoulders on there. We're going to reach down, take that black ball out from underneath your sacrum, and roll that silver ball up into the back of your neck. Pause for a moment, pull the ball out, get rid of all the wadded out shirt material on there. So turn your face to the left so that you can rest the big bump, the massive shirt on the back of your ear, just below the left earlobe on there. Rest that on top of the silver ball, and you're going to bring your black ball out to the side with your left hand. So you're going to try and reach over towards your left hand, rest more pressure on the neck, and then draw back like you're pulling on a bow. Let's reach over the top. Draw back like you're pulling on a bow. One more time. Reach up over the top. Open and extend those ribs. And draw back. Open the rib cage. Bring your head back to the center. It's going to feel very uneven on your neck. Turn your face to the right. Find that big bump on the back of your head. And then the ball goes into your left hand, reaches out for the floor. Stabilize. Find that line, reach up, over, reach for the left hand, extend, and then draw back away from that arm pressure. Up, over, extend, and then draw back away. Last one, up, over, reach out over your hand, extend, and sink back. Really hang off that left arm. And come back into the center. Now, you're going to just replace that silver ball at the back of your neck. On there, reach over the top with both hands. Grab lightly, tuck your chin down. Walk your feet in tight to the bottom of your pelvis. Push with your feet, imprint your neck. Really try and straighten out your spine one last time. Press back with your head onto the ball. Open your elbows up. You're ready to push off. Slowly straighten your legs until you can flip those heels up and rest at upward plank at the center of your spine. Lengthen, pull your head out of your butt with your thumbs. And then set those sits bones down at the earth. Let that spine extend. Bring your arms forward and curl up into your best. And then finally all the way forward. Oh, thank you very much. On there, I don't know how long this is going for you, but this is probably the most contact that I've had and the most speaking that I've had in the last 3 or 4 days, other than my daily walk with a friend. So I hope every one of you is wonderful out there. I'll see you again on Saturday morning. And we'll keep this up on here. Hopefully this will get a little more organized. Bye-bye.